Vega Squadron's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Vega Squadron's turn to pick.
Gyrocopter!
Dire team pick.
The sack. Dusk.
Vega Squadron's turn to pick.
Earth Shaker.
Vega Squadron's turn to ban.
Welcome back, everybody. Game number 3 here in this best of 3. The ESL 1 New York European qualifiers have begun. We're in round number 1 and Disciples. We're 1 game away from progressing up against Vega Squadron. Game number 1 went the way of EE. Back pretty damn strong in game.
10 seconds remaining.
Banning out the Clockwork and the Techies. They get their hands on that shiny rainbow horsey, the Leshrac and the Tusk. Draft progresses, and I can welcome in my co-caster Modpacks. Series has been damn intense.
Yeah, the picks have, it's always the same top heroes that they're really looking towards. I mean, they're pretty meta, but kind of the same priorities in terms of like the Queen of Pain and the Undying being down near the bottom, whereas the Bounty and the Clockwork are maybe the Clockwork a little bit higher than I'd expect, but a very, it's just a good hero for, just chase, lockdown, BKB piercing, and maybe it's just that higher tier teams maybe know how to deal with it better. I don't know. I mean, obviously Vega Squadron, TI team, so they're still respecting the Clockwork. So maybe it's just the fact that EE, I mean, they played it so damn well in that first game that it's one of those solid offlaners that can really fight up against a lot of the hard laners and stuff like that today, or the hard carries today. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's like during TI5 it was also like a very common opener. Gyro plus Clockwork, or Clockwork plus Lean, let's check a Lean. But we didn't really see it banned in the first phase that often. I'm wondering if it's like a knock-on effect because of that. He was a popular picked hero, so now he's just put into the ban phase attitude because of that. But that also allows things like Leshrac, the annoying little mid laner, actually coming. Shadowfiend being banned out. Game sound. There we go. Didn't hear. There we go. Winter Wyvern picked up now. So they've gone. This was what Vega had in game 1 minus the Tusk, right? They had Leshrac, Winter Wyvern.
Yep.
But have that Tuskar. What kind of role he plays in?
Well, he's going to provide at least a little bit of the catch that they were missing in that first kind of role. Like, the Snowball is a decent way to get some all-right initiations, and also for kind of like the catch-up if someone's trying to get away. But I think we might be looking for something a little bit more long-range, because before he has the Blink Dagger, there's not that much he can do. Pretty good up against Gyrocopter, though. Even moving into the later stages of the game, the Walrus Punch can be a good way to finish him off in a team fight. When you know how Gyrocopter like starts to drop low when you're focusing his spells on him, but now he starts to with the Rocket Barrage and the Flat Cannon, and he's just that little bit of life he got left when he suddenly comes out of the fight with a Rampage. Tusk can be pretty good to deal with that, similar to how Lina can. So I like that pickup against the Gyrocopter, and it's also the mana cost for all Tusk spells is so ridiculously low. Like, if you go into an off lane either solo or as a duel with someone like the Winter Wyvern, like, you can spam out on the Gyrocopter, you can block him away from the creep, you can really harass him from those lasts and try and slow down the start that he wants to have.
Doesn't get zoned out to either. Especially against a Dazzle, you need 2 supports to kind of zone him out. He can dodge around Rocket.
10 seconds remaining.
Difficult to keep tabs on him a lot of the time. 1 TP towards mid lane.
5 seconds.
Very similar to what we see Wyverns and Dazzles do. They carry a TP, they run towards the middle lane, they TP there to try and save their opponent, or save their teammate if they're being dived by their opponents, turn the fight around. But with the Tusk, it's both saving your teammate and then snowballing back onto these heroes that are under the tower, so you can mass little shenanigans with the You've got a PL on your team as well. You've got physical damage, magical damage, team fight lockdown. Vega Squadron, you've got good early game pressure and power here. Dazzle, ES, Gyro. But without Alina, without a Shadow Fiend, without Storm, without Leshrac, what's your mid hero going to be? You have to pick up a TA. Go back for the Queen of Pain this game.
Yeah, Queen, definitely the biggest one left in the pool. Maybe try and pull out something like the Windrunner, something perhaps a little bit more unusual. I don't know. They did ban out the Darks here as well, so I wonder if that means the Mag hero is going to be this Earthshaker again. Which can be really difficult, like against the Phantom Lancer. Yeah, it's gonna be the Wind Ranger. That's like one of the reason it immediately comes to mind for me, at least, is because of the snowball. It's very similar to the Spirit Breaker charge, where it is a hero that can possibly escape, and they're few and far between when it comes to that. And she provides a bit of physical damage as well, and also that lockdown for the PL. Because if you can get that solid shackle, that's a great way to deal with PL, even moving into the later stages of the game.
Vega Squadron's turn.
The Brood ban.
Nice. Okay, good thinking. Mag. That's a Mag hero, and that's a clutch Mag hero, right? Game 3, you got to clutch it out.
Yep.
You go Mag. You go Brood. You cheese them.
And you've got nothing to deal with it. Like Winter Wyvern, maybe with a Sentry, gets to level 3.
10 seconds remaining.
Blast or something like that. Maybe you can handle the Brood, but level 3, the Winter Wyvern does very little. You just zone out with Arctic Burn, then you get killed. Then you get killed again, and then the Brood Mother's level 5, and she's taking tier 1s.
Yeah, and we talked about like PQ's. I think he's shown some good drafting ability, and the 5th ban on the Brood is an excellent sign of like good drafting, because it is one of those ways that you can simply just lose the game in the draft phase. And it does take a good captain to always have a good head on your shoulders to be looking out for those situations. And the Brood's obviously the one that immediately springs to mind, but it's a good sign to see, because it means that the team, they have a solid leader, and it's something that can carry them further into an event like this.
10 seconds
where you can't lose in the draft phase, or else
there's no moment where you're like, oh crap, we've got to ban Broodmother, we've lost game 3. The Bane ban's a little bit what that's actually towards. Guess Strip is good against Gyro BKB playing, but gonna put something wonky up on that off lane.
I've seen a few Banes doing that nice dual lane mid. Now, the Winter Wyvern's here, so one can assume that she might be the one that'll be kind of hanging around and lurking there, but the Enfeeble can be very good against someone like the Wind Ranger, and then she has to rely on like Power Shot to last it. But to keep her the light, I mean, classic. Coddle PL.
Open up Winter Wyvern.
Eggs.
Yeah. That opens up the Winter Wyvern for the waves to head towards.
And the reason Coddle's also really good here is because Vega's already shown their hand with the Gyrocopter and the Wind Ranger, and that's 2 heroes that rely on physical damage. So they'll be the Blinding Light's really good against that, right? Obviously, a good bit of magic damage, but there's no one like the Queen of Pain or something where that Blinding Light is effectively like not a big impact in terms of the damage, but definitely very good against Gyrocopter and Wind Ranger. And 2 heroes that don't really want BKB early. I mean, we see it all the time on Gyro, but last game we didn't see it that early. And it definitely gets forced out, because if you're blinded in the middle of like a really crucial engagement, that's just brutal. But I'm excited to see this solo Shadow Shaman again. Something, they're bringing it out again. Let's go.
You're Blinding Light, Wind Ranger. Where's your focus fire now? Is it gone? No. I don't have his disciples. Gelf McGraw, top, playing the Leshrac. I'm looking at that Shadow Shaman again. He did have an amazing game in game number 2. But he was given a lot of experience up at top lane. He was in a dual lane, stacking him alone for a lot of the time. He went in very fast level 5 and then got a Blink Dagger, Quick Arcanes. This game, does he have the time to do it? Because the initial game number 2 were static. It was all about the laning phase. You wanted to farm, they wanted to L and Empress going. In this game, both teams look kind of geared up to fight early. Leshrac, Gel, Kotl, Tusk throw bodies into the meat grinder here.
Yeah, and it was the same combination last time with the Dazzle and the Shadow Shaman, and I wonder if that is just because of the farm priority, whereas like Seema's fine with being the 6th role, like he's okay with it. I'm just gonna buy wards and give that bit of space to Solo. A good support for rotating as well. And Gyrocopter, again, it's just a solid hero that can kind of hold their own in the lane. Now that'll depend on if it is just gonna be the solo task or if he'll get a little bit of assistance, but I think that's a pretty good, like this is a good opener, I feel, for them. Like I feel like they see the space for Solo, they see that he can do the same little pulls. I mean, he pulled for like 7 minutes up here on the small camp last game, and that's what got him towards the Arcane Splinks. I think they can do it again. The other thing is that one thing you can guarantee when you have a PL on your team is that you're not going to have that level 6 rotation. So a lot of hard carries you'll see, like the Gyrocopter specifically is the one that comes right to mind, is that the second he hits 6, TP to the top lane, let's go kill, like their hard carry, right? You're not going to see that with the PL, so right away you know that that's going to give you a little bit more space. Now, maybe they could try something with like Keeper of the Light's going to come down with a couple friends, and maybe they'll recall in the PL if they feel like they can take a big fight into the tower. So I often say like the onus is on one team. Like I feel like sometimes a team has to make a lot of things happen in order for them to win based on the draft, and to me that feels like the Dire right now.
Yeah, they have to win. Like they have to win 2 of their lanes. It feels. Leshrac, if he starts falling behind, it's going to be up with the Ranger and Gyrocopter who fight very early on with the behind them, because the heal and sustain from EED, Cold Embrace from the Wyvern. Saw what that did in game number 1. It holds your Leshrac or your PL, and it basically makes them a sitting duck for heroes like the Gyrocopter, like the Wind Ranger, to line up shackles, cooldowns, rocket barrage. Back to your point about Gyro, once he hits level 6, and that kind of came from aggressive on CD, where he'd like clockwork. Every time he got up to level 6 or 7, just move around, go and take tier 1 towns, take fights. I have seen him do it with Phantom Lancer as well, but only him. So I agree that I don't think McGraw is going to be making those movements, but I don't know, it's possible. Lance is a really kind of stated spell a lot of the time. You think, oh, it's good for zoning, it does damage and it's slow. But if you throw that into like a 3v fight, the low cooldown on it, it's got Chakra Magic behind you as well. Applies that pretty well. Now Maui and Mag both TP to effective off lanes to get the server boards. Well, so they've got vision. But Vega didn't buy sentries last game, and again, haven't bought any this game. What? We've got 2 on Teddy. Let's see. Does he find Observer Ward? Like, ideal place is going to be somewhere around here to place the sentry, catch Observer Wards.
He might go for this, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I was about to say, because like they know that Mag TP'd. I'm sure they probably would have checked the replay really quickly to see where the wards go. And this ward, like, it always blocks, or you basically are guaranteed to get the small camp. So that's the only issue with putting that observer there, is that, like, had they waited for the small camp to spawn, they wouldn't have done that ward, right? Because they would have been like, oh, it's not blocked, so the ward's not over here. And so I think that's what Mag's thinking was that, okay, it's not going to be blocked, but I'll still get vision and they won't deward it. But that's the classic deward button. Gets caught out there, yeah. Some good knowledge there.
Up a little bit more, because this Keeper of the Light does need to stack and pull quite a bit. Ivan pulls mid lane, and once again the trade-off of Bounty Rune. Mid Bounty, Leshrac, and Wind Ranger gets the other one down at bot. Solo, where? Another really interesting laning ward from the Radiant. They had one up at top lane. Can't quite remember, but they love their laning wards. This one, though, is incredibly interesting. Oh, nice. Nicely done by Maui. Showing off his skill every single game. There's the Ice Shard block that we've seen from time to time. But this Observer Ward, I don't think I've seen that before.
It is a little unusual, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones, because typically we'll see it over here. It got placed a few times during TI, but it's definitely a lot less likely to get countered. So that's nice, and it provides a decent amount of vision. Like, it's going to let you know what Tusk is up to back here, if he's running into the side chop too, which can be a great way to get a pick off of someone like the Shadow Shaman. And I gotta say, I love the way Dire has this set up with their lanes. Like, this is actually, their lineup is so good. Like, you can see Wonder Wyvern's already in here pulling, and the good thing about being on Dire is that you can be both protecting your mid laner, but you can also be doing these stacks, and you have a Keeper of the Light. And he can be looking to get nice and early eggs with a lot of those jungle camps.
Yeah, or you push your Leshrac up to a faster Bloodstone, and then you can control top rune. You've got the ability to save your mid laner with that Arctic Burn, and now you come back up the top, say, hey Mag, you've blocked off a couple of these creep waves, you push the lane into our tier 1. Sure that you don't. Tuskar is being forced back a little bit by that flag cannon from Pasha. Overall, it's pretty even. Keeper of the Light has more last hits than his Phantom Lancer, which is interesting. But PL lasting under a tower without Quelling Blade, without Wraith Band, it is a little bit difficult early on.
Yeah, Mag being a little bit disruptive here, but it looks like PQ is going to head back towards the room, so he'll secure this for Lesh, or at least going to deny it for no one, as it looks like he's putting the proper positioning for it. Or Solo might hold bot for him, too. Because there's no vision here. Oh, he's going to take it. They're going to try and make something happen.
Well, neither of them have bottles. Solo coming in from the back. PQMZ coming in from the other back. Shadow just runs straight past, and with his haste rune, he should be okay, just walk himself away. But the Winter Wyvern, maybe not so okay. The line is drawn, saying, they're coming for me. They know I'm here. Up at top lane, Mag is dropping low. Winter Wyvern is now hiding in the trees. And I'm not sure they can actually find him anymore. They've run around, they've closed the net, but there's a tiny little gap, which...
pretty comical.
Still hiding there.
This is where First Blood's gonna happen somewhere while we're watching what this Windrunner is gonna do.
Well, we nearly missed the courier going down, but Top doesn't get the hit out there. Maybe, oh, he's got it. PQM, no way! PQM's at the play. One more hit's got it. He kills off the courier. He's gonna lose his life for this. Spend your money, buy boots, buy something. Because you're dead to the power shot.
First blood. The Wind Ranger gets.
Thought he might be able to make a play with the Arctic Burn over the ledge, and I think that's what he was waiting for. But yeah, nice power shot there from no one, just to make sure he's not going to get out. And did he get the? Oh, he didn't get the boots this time.
He can still buy.
That's a little unfortunate.
Oh wait.
He bought. I mean, he must have bought wards or something.
Pretty sure he did, because when he died, maybe I had someone else click. I thought he only lost. He drew 4 heroes there. The other 2 supports from bot were drawn over towards mid. The Wind Ranger lost a little bit of time on lane. So now the Leshrac has taken a tiny bit. It's not a massive amount that he's actually got in terms of... But it's pushed Maui up to level 4.5. Pasha still farming away here, but Mag barely level 3. So that one little move, sure, he gives away First Blood, which is a nice little bonus to that Wind Ranger who has full boots now. But the overruling factor that he forced all of these heroes here. The Dazzle is, making some big stacks, but it's just map control going way of the Dire, that tiny little bit.
Oh, that is a huge stack too. Man, that's a lot of farm. So this is where your Windrunner and your Gyro, at least Windrunner have a harder time taking it, so Pasha, he can make claims to it, doesn't have the Shadow Fiend mid or something like that. I don't think this will be your drums gyrocopter. I would be looking towards just get a helm and keep farm with this PL, because I don't think they're gonna be able to take a lot of early fights towards them unless they start snowballing in lane, and Mag has a little bit of a better time, but he's still sitting at level 3. I mean, not too bad. 4.5 minutes in. Probably similar to Maui. Actually, Maui's managed to get 4.25.
Yeah. I thought that this stack over here would go to the Leshrac, but you were right. Keeper of the Light takes it. He's got Tranquils over in his stash, and he's going to get another, 200 gold or something from these creeps as well. So he's looking pretty rich right now as this Keeper of the Light 5 minutes in. What do you go from? What do you go to with this gold? Because it's still a Keeper of the Light. Do you think about mech? Do you go for that Aghanim Scepter? Because it is a really vital item. That Ags with the healing during daytime, with that sort of flying vision, the circle, chasing you, everything around. Oh, no one! Windrunner is still up, but the final hit over the cliff, he doesn't miss!
Scoured.
How did that all happen?
Dota 2.
2 indeed.
Oh man, what a game.
Well, nice little
And
kill
that
for
Teddy,
Leshrac.
I like the mech idea, actually. I don't know if... I guess it depends on how they want to play it and how much space you'll be able to get. The early Ags, though, when we saw it, I believe it was Summit, when Aoi was doing the stacks. I mean, that's kind of when the first jungle coddle started, and he was up on this ledge over here on the Dire side.
You had an 11-minute Ags or something.
Yeah, it was 11
ridiculous.
minutes.
Absolutely
and it's
ridiculous.
Being always in your ultimate state and having the permanent recall and then of course the vision that you get during the daytime. It's all just, it's kind of absurd how much that it gives to you. So I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
Now we were talking last game about Gyrocopter and treads or phase boots. This game he's gone for the phase. So no treads right here, and does really play into the fact he's got these big stacks going. In fact, he wants to try and chase down heroes like the PL, like the Tuskar. Gate mechanisms or a way to jump themselves away from team fights. Damage you get from the flak as well, the phase that it's basically extra burst. You know, the treads give you the efficiency of going from single camp to single camp. You can tread switch for the rocket barrage as well, but the attack speed just allows you to kind of pump through the camp a little bit faster. Solo, he's caught now, though, with a cooldown and barrage. Snowball is going to keep you alive for a second longer, but you're still going to go down. Pasha up on the board there with a kill to his name, while up on top Mag is getting forced back behind his tier 1 tower.
Yeah, he was doing a good job down bottom, Maui not having died yet. I mean, Gyrocopter's one of the better cores in terms of getting those early kills against the offlaner, and he still would have been safe, but Solo got an Invis rune and he didn't have a ward to spot it out, so not much chance there for Maui.
Back. Arcanes and Bottle. Has he got anything on the observer ward heading over to him? But he hasn't... No, this is the one thing. If he had these stacks, he would be well on his way towards that Bloodstone. He'd be looking pretty hot right now. The Keeper of the Light is full-time jungling. He's got no lane presence. He's not really doing apart from farming.
Oh, he's got the point booster.
He's going straight for it.
Excellent. Oh, nice. Look at Pasha. This is so much farm.
Where is he now? Oh, man, in the jungle.
Doing the call down for the... It's like 5 or 6 camps total.
The best thing about Radiant Gyrocopter, honestly, I've even seen players go for Tread's Quelling Blade, and you cut down some trees here, you cut down the tree here, and you just pull all 3 camps into this area and get the call down on them. You destroy them. Like, it's level 2 flat cannon.
Yeah, I like the phase when you're doing this because, yeah, obviously you're using flat cannon, so it's a set number of attacks, and so every single one of the attacks having that extra damage is so important. And now no one's going to get a nice little shackle here, but it's only level 2.
He actually can be able to kill Maui off with a power shot, finishing him off.
Shot.
Yeah, there we go. Embrace not going to save you through that magical damage. Not only are they taking stacks and pushing Pasha up to 4,000 net worth, Phantom Lancer is actually even with him, interestingly enough. Last hit-wise, PL's behind. PL is 0-0-0. Wait. How... Work?
I guess just because the one. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Like, there's only a 300 discrepancy. I guess
it's because of the just because it is jungle camps, so probably the main issue.
Yeah, I guess so.
The creeps give quite a bit less. I mean, I think this is all raw lane CS, like 60 at 9 minutes, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, true. And then
like
Gyrocopter's had like 30 or something from the jungle.
Yeah.
Gets his
and the jungle ones did get nerfed too, so maybe that's kind of why it seems so crazy now. They do give less gold.
Got his helm this time, so he's gone for the greedier build, where he wants to be stacking up Ancient, farm on. Observer ward here from the Dire, though. Watching mid lane, they see Seema TP in, they know exactly where he is, but they don't have an opener just yet. Maui is poked up, and he's looking for it. Oh, Seema's moving over. They're going to go in for this. They've got the Tusk, Snowball, and the Punch, and full up with the Splitter. That should be a simple takedown. And bail out as well.
Nice stacking to make sure that he's not able to get off that shallow grave, but
Dire's bottom tower is
kind of a little bit of a free pick, and now Lightning coming out. And we actually saw the last round earlier. He went for only 2 points in the Splitter, and that was with the Sven done setup. Top opting instead to go right for the max and the 4 points, not going for the Edict. I guess not really too interested in pushing towers. His PL's farming fine. His Coddle's in the jungle. Like, what does he care right now about pushing towers?
This Keeper of the Light just never gives, like, he never gives up. He's level 8. He's halfway to level 9. He is the same level as the Gyrocopter, like almost exactly the same level as the Gyrocopter from the jungle. This Keeper of the Light is ridiculous.
Well, they saw Solo go so greedy last game, and then, like, once... I guess they know that Vega are okay with going for a solo like this.
Oh, good stun!
Oh,
the
wow,
Splitter! Top's got him! With the Pulse Nova burning through his HP. Oh, he doesn't get the final hit! No one escapes, and now the turnaround with the Rocket Barrage. The Leshrac gonna be kicking himself for that. No one escapes on, what, 15 health?
Yeah, that's just like RNG at that point, based on how much damage you got from each right click before the wind run went off. So
Super close.
It's a little frustrating. Man, Teddy, it's like every time I look at him, he's getting, and you see this pull that he's doing? Oh, actually, he didn't do it. He was going to do the double stack, because if you get that one right at 55, you can hit this too and pull it up. Yeah, or that way. Either way works. Just gonna... Sometimes that can screw up your first stack if you get it a little bit wrong.
The doppelganger dodges out the shackle shot, so no one is not going to find the kill up at top. Mag wanted that, but he's got his arcane boots. He's looking pretty good for himself as the TP comes in. Top as well. Creep camps, but there is that one hero, the Pasha Gyrocopter. One of the heroes he really got his name for, you know. Gyro plus PL. Good, what, 4 months ago, something like that, when he joined the team. Crushing people. Absolutely destroying people. His gyro play, you know, he's 101, but at 109 CS, 6,000 almost net worth up on him. All of a sudden, he has jumped leaps and bounds ahead of this fan. Early on.
Yeah, he's just crazy efficient. Is the main thing. Like, he's always punching a creep. Like, have you seen him not hitting creep this game?
No, where is he right now? Oh, look, he's hitting creeps. Oh, look, he's flat cannoning more creeps. But
yeah, and a lot of people, like, they wouldn't flat cannon that wave right there, but it's all about the timing and stuff, like, and he just wants to keep moving around, and looks like he's going for the Yasha next. He's got his creep going up there, he's got a triple stack going for the Ancients, and finally the Radiant side are getting aggressive. But for once, keep the lights on here, and unfortunately it's going to be top. But no trees.
Tusk TP's away, top is up here, shackle shot's not going to latch. Watch the Tusk escape, but is it going to be the same story for the Leshrac? It looks like he's going to be just fine as the Illuminate will get channeled up. Bail out there from the Radiant. Down at bot, the Gyrocopter barely missed out on a Tusk kill. He dropped to like 5 health or something from the rocket barrage. Pretty damn close. Now, early on, the Gyrocopter is, you know, reasonably good against the Phantom Lancer. You can clear through illusions, you've got the cooldown, you've got the magic damage. But as the game progresses, as the Phantom Lancer, you know, keeps up and then overtakes you, bomb if that is the case, Phantom Lancer does deal with the Gyrocopter very well, and it's always one of these debates where PL against Gyro and or Lesh, who comes out on top? And a lot of, you know, top players say that later on, Phantom Lancer does, because the Phantom Rush allows him to kind of bypass that, you know, the care about the AoE, the long-range AoE that they've got from Pulse Nova, Lightning Storm, Flat Cannon, just run straight for the main target, build up his illusions, and swarm them. He doesn't really mind that you're clearing through them, he's just going to make more and more and more throughout the team fight. That does, of course, take time, does take, you know, correct item decision progression through for this Phantom. Get there, you need the Leshrac with the Tusk and the Keeper of the Light making space for you.
Yeah, and the other thing about, even into the late game, Doppelganger never stops being effective. I mean, you're dodging stuns, you're dodging spells, call down, everything like that. Every bit of damage that you can avoid using it, as well as, like, there's also the confusion created by the illusion, so sometimes spells get wasted, and he still just carries so hard in the late game. Unreal.
Top has landed a stun again. He's actually going in onto the Wind Ranger, but the cooldowns here. Leshrac, you've overextended massively. The Grave was always there behind no one to save him if needed. That's like 3 times in a row now, where Leshrac has gone in hard. Once or twice, it's worked out. You know, I think he got 1 kill, but he's given up 2 deaths so far in the past 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I like no one not going straight for the eggs actually this game. So adding on that magical damage is nice against things like the Winter Wyvern and everything like that. So you have a little bit more magic damage to go along with your the power shot. So it's good. It's also a really good farming item, right? So this has turned into kind of a farming game. His Gyrocopter's hitting a lot of creeps. Oh wow, there's PL.
I guess that was the blink forward from the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
And Mag with the Echo Slam. But
I guess they weren't expecting that on solo yet, but I guess with how farmed their Keeper of the Light is, it's pretty much has himself. Is it done? It's done.
Must be done.
15 minutes. Pretty solid. Call that a decent start to your game.
Well, he's the second highest last hitter in the game. But 113 last hits. All of them jungle. 150 on the Gyrocopter, obviously a little bit ahead of him. But now they're going to try and push in towards middle lane with the Illuminate, with the Recall and Blinding Light permanently available. What they can accomplish, just spamming through the creep waves. This does create a little bit of space for no one to push out top. Mag to get up into his Blink Dagger, so 750 until he's got that one. Asha, guessing SNY here, he's got an Ogre Club. Don't see a massive reason to go BKB if you do go for the SNY. Yeah, he's going to go for the SNY now. Because you've got the Bane, you've got the kind of defensiveness behind you with Fisher, with Grave, with Shackle Shot. There isn't the real need to go fully defensive on the Gyro.
Yeah, and he's going to need, I think, a little bit more damage. And the movement speed's always nice. Now, the only thing is the mana leak's actually really nice against someone like Gyrocopter when he doesn't have the BKB. Because he is someone who kind of wants to get in there, you know, maybe run into the fog a little bit, come back out with another rocket barrage. And just being mobile. So Mana Leak can definitely slow him down, because you do run out of mana relatively quickly on Gyrocopter. Once you use your call down, a couple rocket barrages, a flat cannon.
Big issue is this Leshrac. Now the Bloodstone now. And safe to farm, but take a look at middle lane. The blink forward solo. He catches BQ himself, but now backs up. Fisher lands onto 2, but they don't want to commit here. The Illuminate and Ice Shards are way too much AoE spam to actually handle. Ball. They're gonna catch him. No, the cooldown gets dropped. Malby's gonna get hit by that first missile.
Oh, the smoke.
Phantom Lancer, they've come back in. The Serpent Lord's down. McGraw, he's already dead. The Serpent Lord's finishing off, and Teddy shackled up behind him. The good with his curse onto no one, but it's not enough damage. EED, they've lost their PL, they're going to lose their Electric here if they're not careful as well. Seema losing mana at a drastic rate as the Shackle Shot does not latch. Lightning Storm to turn us back around, but the Grave from Seema help out the Shadow Shaman. Wind Ranger kills the Winter Wyvern. Illuminate, Seema walks the other way. Back is Maui on this tusk, but Leshrac, he's coming back into fight. The Wind Ranger's here with a Shackle. Again, no latch there onto the tree, and top Echo Slam.
Felt that hit or not.
Just into the water, you know, casually.
That's what he was trying to do, to try and get like up on top of the hill.
What was that? A 2-for-1? Gyro died for the Wyvern and PL.
Yeah, unfortunately, it felt like Gyro just needed like one more hand over here, and he probably could have cleaned up someone, but the rest of the raiding side started focusing down through the river, and he kind of got left out to his own devices, but the Snowball from Tusk was able to dodge out the Rock Barrage and also pick up the kills, so Maui, again, making some nice plays, and taking out the Gyrocopter is extremely important right there. He was basically completely untouched, so he'll slow down his farming a little bit, but of course, he'll just head right back out with that flat cannon. Sanjin Yasha now finished as well. Oh, that's nice.
Now, I was looking at the PL and seeing a Diffusal Blade is complete, but he has gone the kind of raw Diffusal Blade build here. Boots of Travel, Ring of Aquila, and then Diffu Blade. But there's no drums, there's no Yasha, there's no building into SNY or Manta style. While you look at the Gyrocopter, he's got SNY Helm. The Wind Ranger has obviously got Wind Run, so damage output onto the Wind Ranger isn't going to be that amazing, and now she's building into a BKB. Even before the Axe, before the Blink Dagger, she's going full defensiveness against the Tusk Snowball, against the Leshrac stuns. How fragile she is.
Yeah, interesting he's going right for that Diffusal Blade. Definitely something we see, you know, it's more of that fighting build. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that the permanent Agnum Scepter will allow for that healing mid-fight, and so maybe he's feeling like that can allow him to be tankier than usual. Because it's definitely not really a farming item, the Diffusal Blade. It doesn't really boost your speed that much compared to a lot of items, like even like a Yasha.
Yeah, drums, Yasha. Like that. We got bot lane, the Hasted. Little Dazzle. Again without Observer Ward though. Get scattered out here, solo with the Hex and TP. Maui, can you stop this? Doesn't look like you can, and there's no Snowball. There's no movement speed in the world fast enough to catch Seema the Slayer in this game. Mag was actually lining up a fight there. Out to them, I don't think they have, they're just picking out, they want to get an Observer Ward deep into the jungle. They're in this area. Go, onto the Magic Bush spot. But this is...
Try to slow down Gyro.
Yeah. It's reminiscent of game number 1, where this time it's Vega who have spread themselves very nicely across the map. They're farming efficiently. They're not giving up too much either. They haven't allowed EED to have full control of their jungle, while Phantom Lancer out the Wind Ranger here and maybe go for this. He gets the lance down, but it's just basically going to be asserting dominance, saying, "Get out of my lane!"
Teddy's dead.
I want to farm up. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, he got a little bit too aggressive, and Mag was there for the Blink Fisher, so kind of a free kill. And now finally they can get themselves another tower. Keep it alive, and holding them back with those waves, but he'll be dead. And they'll just dump the wards down to make sure they get it. And again, Solo going for that Glimmer Caves. I like that, and again, it's nice because Pasha doesn't have the BKB, so he's looking for all the help he can get along with the Grave and the heals. So that'll be nice, and Echo Slam now also back up, so they can look to maybe push another tower, depending on where Keeper Life can be focusing his efforts.
He does want that level 2 Echo, though. Getting him level 11 is going to be pretty important. Balance this with Ranger needing farm, as well as the Gyrocopter clearing out these jungle camps.
At least their BKB's ready now, if they want to take one of those fights. That'll be good. And then Maui's got himself the Glimmer Cave, so not opting for something like the Blink Dagger. And I think that's okay. I think he understands that the Radiant are going to be looking to come take fights. Not that they have to. I mean, look pretty comfortable just farming it up here with Pasha. Unfortunately, his Ancients are blocked off, so he's not going to get that stack off he just attempted, but the Glimmer Cable allowed to survive a little bit better. Blink Dagger, not that great when you're trying to defend towers, so... next engagement can be very telling, and we'll see what teams are going to do with the Roche Pit is they're actually going to scout it out just to make sure with that Sigil.
Exactly what I'm looking at. You know, 21 minutes in, it's always that period of the game, 21 to 25, where you're thinking, who's going to take Roshan? Who's going to take that one step where they want to find a fight, find a couple of pickoffs, and get the Roche Pit to actually secure and consolidate that lead that they've got. Right now, Vega, they've got no medallion yet. Dazzle is trying to build up into that, it looks like, but this guy, like you were mentioning during the draft, he is the 6 or the 7 or the 8 role support. He does not buy anything at all. Everything goes into the hands of Solo, who's got a gem after... From the Dire,
yeah, that must be his gem. That's his gem too, right? So that's interesting that he opted for that and not looking towards the Aghanim Scepter. I guess it's because they understood that there were wards in their jungle, and you can see they've all been dewarded, but a lot of sentry wards as well. But they just want to keep securing all this farm. Unfortunately, Jarnhopper did go down there to PL.
Yeah, I've got to keep an eye on this Keeper of Light. He recalled in the Tusk, and that's what set everything up for them, it looks like. Definitely got to keep my eyes open for him when he's used that. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, Seema, the Dazzle, you're all alone. You've got a Grave and a TP, but there's no Split Earth here. The Lightning Storm's not enough.
Yeah, another one of those reasons we see the Yule Scepter come out quite a bit, but top held down. I mean, it's 22 minutes and he's a Bloodstone. I'm acting like he's held down, but a lot of times, you know, your Leshrac up a little bit higher, closer to like that 10k range that the Windrunner and the PL are sitting on. But I think that has a lot to do with the Keeper. Right?
Definitely.
He took a lot of that jungle farm, so just spreading the net worth a little bit differently on the Dire side.
He took all of that jungle farm. There was nothing left for the Leshrac to build up into. You'd like to have, you know, a 16, 17 minute Bloodstone on Lesh, but sometimes make these changes to your play if you do want this Keeper of Light to be up and running. And what's he going for now? He's got a 4-staff done. 23 minutes in, Aghanim's 4-staff, and he's sitting at nearly 8,000 net worth, but you do have the counterpart. Solo on the Shadow Shaman, now up to level 11, the 2 points in Serpent Ward. The undoing of these tier 2 towers, or even Roshan if they smoke in there with Dalian from Sea. Pasha still hasn't got that BKB done. I think that's what they're waiting for. Just kind of sit back a little bit, farm their own jungle. They've got some good wards down to watch for any movements forward. But the flip side of the coin is that you're also allowing the Phantom Lancer to farm, which is what they're looking at right now. No, he's backed himself up, but he's already TP'd away, so there is no go there up at top lane.
Yeah, and despite this long static period, the Dire are keeping up very handily. Like, they're not... Like, the Gyrocopter is probably one of the scarier heroes to allow to just totally free farm, but again, they also have the PL, and with the Boots of Travel and the Recall permanently available, it's making his way across the map very efficiently, and that pick off on the Gyrocopter also helping to bring that back down, but I'm a little surprised that maybe the Radiant aren't getting the better end of that farm stick, but I guess that early Aghanim Scepter just allows Teddy to be kind of insane. The Radiant Vision, they actually have full vision of this because of the power, so I don't think Teddy knows he's within vision right now.
Yeah, I mean, it means that PL can kind of just walk down a lane and then get recalled back and then BOT somewhere else, but the blink forward now, Solo, he's not going to find anything. The BKB out from Pasha will allow him to survive through for the Glimmer King. They need a gem in range. The Winner's Curse does land. Top's already down though, denies himself through that Bloodstone. Echo Slam catches 2 of them. McGraw on about 200 HP, stick charge up, but the Illuminate, the Keeper of the Light, not really offering you too much when you're shackled up and taken out. 4 dead for the price of 1. Earthshaker, the only casualty there from the Radiant, and it looks like it's going to be a full wipe, actually. No one has found Teddy. The Illuminate, they're never stunned, but they're going to shackle. He's out! What?
No one actually couldn't get close enough to shackle because he lost the mana from the mana drain as he walked towards him.
What? I was so sure he was dead there.
Seeing that gem on Solo, they've actually purchased their own, watching their entire enemy jungle get dewarded, so... Man, that shackle to opening the fight, like... Top did absolutely nothing. Fortunate. Just like... I mean, it was perfect there from no one, right? And I think that is a priority target, because it is one of the heroes that can actually burst down. I don't think you're going to get the PL killed in that shackle duration.
Oh, they're going for this? Pasha has no BKB for 10 seconds time. He's actually locked in here with the War Sponge and Illuminate. They've got a ton of damage. They've got him. And now that's what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. Find a pick off, get into the Roche Pit, and maybe just consolidate that one kill you've got into a much bigger objective.
Yeah, this is a big bounce back. It was looking that might make things look pretty bad, but this should help him out quite a bit. And get this on top of McGraw, I'd say that's a couple easy tier 2s, depending on how many plays Mag will be able to make here on the Earthshaker. He'll probably be the big determining factor. It looks like he's going for that Yule Scepter again. Again, pretty good. Can help save yourself if you try and get set up for like a Split Earth or something from some other stuns, and you don't have time to like run outside of it. You can get nice Yules going.
So unfortunate. This is just around the same time as the Dazzle bought himself a medallion. They were geared up, right? Now I've got medallion. We can go Roche soon, guys. Then all of a sudden they lose Gyro, they lose the Bush, they lose Leshrac onto the Phantom Lancer. But with the gem they've got on this Kotl now, just going to go through D-Ward as much as they can. And yeah, LTP's the top. He's being Blink Hex. Now with a Blink Echo, Serpent Ward's dropped as well, and McGraw. They got the kill on Gyro. They got the Roshan. But that aggressive TP at top, I guess he just didn't expect them to be pushed up so far.
Yeah, just like totally caught out with the Blink Dagger. Pretty powerful. It's making me feel a little bit oh, wow, okay. That actually would have worked if the Blinding Light hadn't pushed that creep. That Shackle would have gotten Teddy. That was pretty meta. Unfortunately, Mag, you cannot hide in the trees against the Keeper of the Light.
You definitely cannot.
Another great deboarding hero. Extremely similar to the Night Stalker, of course, so... I don't know. This game is very back and forth. Like, it feels like one team suddenly has an advantage, and then their core hero gets picked off by some supports. It seems to be consistently happening.
There are some big swings, definitely. If we look for the next, let's say, 5-10 minutes or so, the way the team fights progress, BKB is obviously very important for the Radiant. They've got the Ranger, they've got the Jarikot, they're both with BKBs. The question is, how does EED actually handle a 5v5 team fight when those BKBs are up? Because they don't really have a great way of jumping in and catching them before they use their BKBs. Winter's Curse is the one spell they have which really can turn a fight and allow them to win, even with Wind Ranger and Gyrocopter there. But it really does come down to where EED are pushing as well. Because they can't go looking for a 5v5 fight, you know, head on, I don't feel. Because they don't have that way in. They've got Tusk Snowball, but that's not really what you want to do. You don't want to snowball Leshrac and Kotl into the fight. You want to be, you know, hanging back a little bit. You want to be spamming out Lightning Storm. You want Phantom Lancer to be dodging guerrilla tactics, trying to weave it out of the fight. Vega wants to be the one that jumps in, Echo Slam, cooldown, just lay down the law and throw bombs they can down onto rifles.
Yeah,
So,
when you go for that Keeper of the Light in the PL, like, you've committed to a lineup where essentially you are pushing towers and that's how the fight starts. But it's either going to be on your terms while you're pushing a tower, or you're getting jumped on. It's not going to be that, like, let's go smoke up and find them, guys.
yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe not until they have like a Hex on the Leshrac or something like that.
Yeah.
But Tusk has gone, you know, full utility. Glimmercape with the Arcanes and Blink Dagger. And now with Pasha farming in the Dire jungle, McGraw just runs himself away. Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah, that's really, like, McGraw going for that BKB is not something we see that often. Good game for it. Earthshaker, Windrunner, Shadow Shaman.
They've seen it.
If there ever was one. Yeah, and it will at least allow him to split push better. But it is an instant, so, like, the Blink Hex, not something that's easily BKB'd. So I don't know how effective it'll actually be. It looks like it'll just be for fights.
Yeah, and then once again, they don't really have much to save him, unless they use the Winter's Curse on someone who blinks forward onto him. EPs are coming down here, McGraw, Shackle, nice dodge with the Doppelganger. Meanwhile, over on the side, Maui was battling it out with Mag a little bit over there. They don't have this Winter Wyvern. He nearly got himself that Glimmer Cape. Nice little combo with the Cold Embrace as well. Do they still have a gem? Yeah, Solo still has his gem. Perfectly fine with that, no problems whatsoever. Seema, jungle, and this is it. This is the game plan for EED. Dodge, weave, just try and get away from the team fights, try and draw Vega Squadron into these positions where they're forced to group up, forced to TP. Because now you know that a bunch of TPs are on cooldown, right? 2 TPs at the very least are on cooldown for Vega. They can't go up to the top tier 2 very quickly. So if you see them pushing into tier 2 or bot lane, you know you've got a free route to actually trade off.
Yeah, this is... I feel like it's only 30 minutes in, but it feels like it's one of these late game scenarios where one mistake is gonna kind of cost you the match, if not a whole set of racks. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
A lot of times you're watching a game and it's like, okay, like we gotta, if we force like 3 TPs here and then we kill 2 of them, that's it. Like we gotta racks. And I guess maybe it's just all this mobility of the Keeper of the Light and just how ridiculously farmed the carries seem to be.
It kind of reminds me of like the old Morphling games, where you just constantly have Morphling like running from lane to lane, BOTs and Replicate, and just split pushing his mind out. Phantom Lancer's doing a very similar thing with BOTs plus the recall. Every lane at once. He's pretty much everywhere, just split pushing away. Then you can leave the Winter Wyvern and Keeper of the Light to push going. Kotl with a plate mail, guess guard for him. While the Leshrac, I was just wondering there for a second, has the Leshrac gone below the Kotl in terms of net worth yet? And it's not that far away. The Keeper just continues powering through in terms of farm, but here's the 5-man. Here's the brute force. And right now is the determining factor. Does EED meet them head on head? Or do they dodge? Do they continue with this split pushing mentality? Do they just continue? Mid and top are both pushing in pretty hard. They've lost their tier 2 down at bot lane though. They will drop eventually to that focus fire, and then the TPs come out. The TPs come up the top lane. The Hanks is already down on the top. The left actually caught. They've got the Winter's Curse here, and it should be enough to allow top to TP himself away, or not! The flag cannon out actually allows them to finish him off at PQM. The Shackle shot flying across the map will hit him in the fountain. But that flag cannon enabled, while he was hitting his own teammates, was still flying out onto that hero.
Man, that was so, like, that was risky, them all TPing that tower. Maui was really close to getting a pick off there, just because of how delayed all the TPs were, but it works out. I mean, they get the pick, so that's nice. Now, he has a plate mail, and so does Light. I'm not sure what the plan is here.
Well,
I don't know if they both just were thinking...
Lotus
oh yeah, Lotus Orb. Okay, yeah, that's definitely what it is. Actually, that's very good against Windrunner.
Yeah, and the Shadow Shaman. Like, in my head I was kind of the same, thinking there's only 2 items that use plate mail. There's the AC and there's the Shivas. And then it slowly dawned on me, there's a third. There's the Lotus Orb. Shadow Shaman gonna pin down PQMZ, but no one's already gone. Great combo up there. Even throwing out the Fisher to try and slow them down. Maui is on the front lines, somehow getting up in there, forcing out and the shards, block him in, punch into the air. And Seema, you've got 1 chance. Grave and TP, except you don't have a TP. They're looking for more. They found Pasha. They found Pasha. The Gyrocopter launches the cooldown. They don't get the PL into position though. He's battling it out over the shards. He's already taken down 2 with a flat cannon. McGraw gets Echo Slam, but his BKB keeps him alive and up and running. And McGraw slams Pasha into the ground. The shatter shot at the top, maybe, you know, the heal from the Illuminate turns him back into a healthy little rainbow pony, slams down the Split Earth, but wait a second, what? Oh, that's a self-Yules. That's a Yules from the Earthshaker, of course. Dave's himself with a blink away.
Nicely played there. Oh man, this was like the perfect timing here for the Disciples because that Agnet Scepter was so close for a solo, and I think the next push would have been extremely hard for them to deal with, but this all started because they were camping in these trees here in the mid lane with the Keeper of the Light, and he had the full vision because it was daytime, and they just easily picked off no one. He managed to get 1 shackle off, but it's not enough to try and you know, stem that. And really, that's where it all came from. And giant push. They managed to bring down Pasha, and a lot more farm going on to their PL. So that's going to swing it even further down towards the Disciples. As this 3K lead has been kind of stagnant for, what is it now? Almost 10 minutes now.
It's been a little bit back and forth, but there you go. Lotus Orb for the Keeper of the Light. Let's see how he does with that one. But yeah, it was the shackle shot onto Winter Wyvern at the mid lane, then literally snowballing forward. But I've got to say, Maui's positioning there, that's what all started it off. There was a good blink forward, then the Force Staff to get the Dazzle, and then the Arctic Burn over the cliff to find the Gyrocopter. Everything was just perfect. They knew, like, the limits of their heroes. How much damage, how many spells do we need to kill off Hero X? Okay, we've got these 3 heroes. We don't need a 4th, we don't need a 5th. These 2 other heroes can then move themselves up to high ground to look for Hero Y. Go for the next target, find someone else. And they just had this kind of perpetual sort of movement forward, looking for the next target, and Vega, you know, they gave it to them. They gave them the single targets that they were looking for over and over again. And I've got to say, Jara was a little bit lucky to get the 2 kills he did. That flat cannon just spamming out. Pretty low HP targets they did pick up. Now, the brute force again. They've decided it's time. Can we break high ground here? Definitely posturing for it.
Just looking at this Lotus Orb and how it's very effective this game, and It's one of those items that like, oh my god, have you seen the flags for the disciples? Okay, that's amazing.
Eternal tryhard.
It's the greatest. Okay. Lotus, like, it's one of those items that we haven't seen a lot, I would say, in competitive play, relative to, I think, how good it is. Like, that, I think it just comes from old habits die hard. Like the Eternal Envy poster. So, like, that's pretty good. You can dispel Shackle Shot. Basically, like, and then all the reflections as well. But I think the after way, like, if someone's shackled up and then you place on top of them, not only are they going to get that buff for the duration, but it also ends the shackle. Yeah. And I think that's pretty huge.
Shackle Shot, shackles, hexes, things like that, all pretty damn good. I think it's just a little bit of an awkward item. Plate Mail, Perseverance, you know, they're two items that don't give you a ton of efficiency for gold you're expending, and a bit of recipe cost as well. It's just kind of an odd item, all in all, to pick up. It's nice, the end product is nice. Getting there is the weird. No stats really to gain from it.
Oh,
yeah. McGraw, can you dodge this?
Going Roche?
Oh, no, the Teddy sees the ball, the weave onto them. Defensively, as the Illuminate does go across, they're still heading into the Roche pit though. They've got this bonus armor. It doesn't last that long though. The Serpent Wards are getting placed down, but they know what's going on. PQMZ with that Winter Wyvern, Oxburn over the high ground solo. Limit caped up for the shards. Oh, they're trapped in here. Roshan is dead, and Patrick should be able to get his hands on Aegis the Immortal. Drop something. He's gonna pick it up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. He gets the Aegis, and the Dire will actually retreat from this. The risky move paid off there for Vega. And is that cheese as well? Is that the second or third Roshan? Second,
I
right?
would say it was the second, but I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any cheese.
It's the second.
That was so risky, but I guess there's not a lot of like mobility in terms of the initiation for the Dire side. I mean, we talked about that, how, you know, it's like fights on their terms of towers and stuff like that. So there wasn't much punish. Luckily, the Arctic Burn was on cool. That's probably the only thing that could have really turned that. If he managed to fly up over top and throw down a big Winter's Curse, that might have given them enough like duration to actually get in there. Couple blasts went into, but nicely played there. Man, that takes some serious commitment and good discipline to like actually like all follow the plan. You know, like that could have been a disaster.
Well, like they've smoked, we've been spotted, we've been illuminated, but I think it's the weave. The bonus armor you get from that weave is kind of what gave them the determination to go into the Roche pit and just, you know, follow through with the plan. Worry too much about a Winter's Curse giving damage back onto themselves, because like where does the damage come from? From D. In the previous games, we've seen a lot of magical damage, a lot of, you know, burst damage coming out of these teams. From EED, Illuminate is a bit of burst, Splinter Blast, sure. Lashrak's obviously a ton of magical damage, but it's Winter's Curse plus the Phantom Lancer. Oh, and the Phantom Lancer, the Blink Echo has caught him, the Hex to follow through. Maybe the Lashrak can save him here with a good Split Earth, and it will do so. McGraw BKBs to get away from this as well. Doppelganger over the cliff, and PQMZ even joining in here to try and save his buddies. But up the top lane, the split push is real. TP's coming down to bot tier 2, back from no one. Top lane's being pushed in by Pasha. Get up and really dress this push in.
The rats, it seems to have been like quelled a little bit here from the Dire side. Like, it doesn't seem. I mean, we just saw what happened there. They almost lost their PL. McGraw almost getting picked off because of the blink and everything. And the BKB, it still can't save you. Like, Earthshaker and Shadow Shaman are two of the best heroes in the games in terms of dealing with cores with BKB when they're out on their own, right? Like, the Echo Slam just dumping down so much instant damage that by the time you get your BKB off, you're already at half HP. And then with the Windrunner, all that physical damage you'll have to go through if the Winter Wyvern's not nearby. They might not survive.
McGraw was running himself down to that bot lane. There's a Radiant Observer up on the cliff as well, so they saw him coming. But he wisely decided to turn around, go somewhere else.
Yeah, Meg with that Blink Yules, and another way to set up from like a really long range quickly. I think they're gonna go for this. Nice creeps.
Yeah, where did your creep wave go? Excuse me, you wanted to push up onto tier 3? Well,
that's actually insane. Like, think about if any other support was there right now. Like, they just walk up and dump the wards.
Very little they could have done if Cupid Light wasn't on the field and he wasn't level 15 with Aghanim Scepter, but they do get the Blink Hex. Shackle Shot is here, Shackle first, and now the Shackle Shot to follow. Surely, landed over the tree, and that's him dead. Phantom Lancer gone for 83 seconds. He does have a buyback though.
remember when he picked up that Ultima Orb and we laughed? That I don't think it'll be a Linken's. A Linken's would have done more this game than a BKB.
Yeah.
That's what it's feeling like with these Blink Shackles and... Or sorry, these Blink Hexes and into the Shackles. Unless they're actually grouped up as 5 and fighting, the BKB just doesn't seem to be doing anything. Even though I totally understand buying it. Like, it just feels like the item that you need against all these spells, but if you're not going to be as a cohesive unit fighting, then it just can't really be of any use.
Mag isn't here, but they've got the force up at top lane to push into this tier 3 Serpent Ward to drop down as well. And I'm just wondering, do you even consider buying back the Phantom Lancer? There's still Aegis on this Pasha Gyrocopter. You've got a Glyph, you can hold on for a little bit longer. And you might not even lose racks here with the spam you've got. You know, Illuminate our shards, you're just kind of lowering them and keeping them at bay for a while. Pasha's down to 600 HP, Arcane's back up, so he's got a bit of mana to throw the call down. But yeah, PL has not bought back. They're just waiting, biding their time for the next push in onto maybe mid-racks. Maybe if Vega overestimate how strong they are right now, or if they lose Aegis the Immortal in this fight here. Said is looking for a Winter's Curse, he's looking for something, maybe a Splinter Blast, to drop that gyro a little bit lower. They've lost their melee racks, but not the ranged one. While down a bot lane, full creep wave, you're taken out by Solo.
Yeah, the issue, I don't even know if McGraw at this point, unless he BKBs, I don't even know if he can deal with the wards, because the second he starts attacking those wards, they're going to initiate, and he'll be in a prime position to get fissured, or just to get hexed up or anything like that. So there is now a butterfly as well.
Oh. Look at that timing. Aegis just expired. So they got the objective up at top. Aegis expires. Roshan respawns in 5 minutes time, something like that. So, you know, decent fast respawn time. Not too bad at all. While McGraw with the ultimate orb, 2600 gold. Gotta be going Skadi. Like, you can't go BKB and Linken's on a Phantom Lancer.
Yeah,
it's just
there's
limiting.
no choice. The only other possible option would be the Manta, but I just can't see that at this point. Like, unless he's going to disassemble his Yasha or something. Scotty just seems too good, like the tank ability and everything else. It's good against the Gyrocopter even when he is the BKB. He's kind of pigeonholed into that build at this point.
With the Lotus Orb on that Keeper of the Light, and looking like one also over onto Tusk, he's got Perseverance. Most likely going to be a Lotus Orb. Like, maybe a Battle Fury if we're lucky. We'll see him build that on the Tusk. But they've never been in a position to cast it onto the Phantom Lancer. He's always been alone, high up on the lane, split pushing away. They can't react and actually jump onto him. They're always trying to bring him back to them with the Lotus Orbs are great when you're defending high ground, when you are grouped up in that environment. But if you can't use Lotus Orb to help the Phantom Lancer when he's doing Phantom Lancer things, which is obviously split pushing away, then how effective are the Lotus Orbs?
Yeah, I might have liked to see maybe the Linken's come in from the Tusk instead, just to cast even that on the PL. Now I can understand that the Lotus might seem better in the situation because it can dispel, and maybe they'll wait till he gets initiated. Oh my god, they're gonna get him again!
Oh no way!
BKB, it's nothing.
And now the Fisher, PQM sets cool as well. Solo has no mana left, and the Glimmer Cape is not going to be enough. You'll scepter up into the air. Cool.
Yeah, for a second there too.
He disappeared!
I hit my vision toggle button because I thought I had it set to radiant vision for a second there, but nicely timed with the recall. That was a pretty cheeky play.
Whose Yule Sept was that though? Earthbreakers?
Yeah, but the damage doesn't happen
until after.
No, it must have been someone. Yeah, until you come down. I think it must have been the Earthshaker's the only one that has one on their team. That is pretty comical. Yeah. It's interesting it doesn't dispel it or anything.
Well, PL is dead again. He does have a buyback, but he's just being slowed down so significant. Item progression pretty much reached nil here as Gyrocopter goes up onto high ground and middle lane with a Butterfly MKB. He's got Focus Fire. Tier 3's already dead here. Blinding Light will try and slow them with that mischance. But Tier 3 still standing. No one goes back in to try and finish this off. Even uses his BKB, then blinks backwards. Just to secure the Tier 3 tower. ED know this is their chance to try and find a pick off Dazzle. There's the only one, but he's not quick enough. The Snowball trying to chase him down. Nothing lost. Vega Squadron. They're commanding lead right now.
They're playing very disciplined. I mean, ever since that Roche engagement with, I shouldn't even say engagement, the Roche snag, the steal, the heist, they just walk in and take it. You know, playing as one unit, playing together, not allowing themselves to get blink hexed and killed. This is, all right, here we go. Five heroes together in the same area. A rare sight.
Can they win a team?
It doesn't look like they're going to take one, because he's going to split push again.
Oh man, Maui, he's walked straight into the smoke, but in the smoke of 5v5 tackles John between the two of them, and the 7 ward's on the top. They've caught him completely off guard here with the cooldown. There's very little they can do. Pasha just cleaves through them all with a black cannon, bouncing around everywhere, and Solo, the Grave, he's actually going to keep himself alive. The Phantom Hunter tries to do as much damage as he can, but 2 have already gone down. A Mag with a blink echo. McGraw caught, no doppelganger, no HP left. The cold embrace keeps him up for a couple of seconds at least, but he's still ripped apart by the focus fire from no one. And now on the retreat is PQMZ, the Winter Wyvern. How far can you run before you get slaughtered under the damage of Patch's gyrocopter? Apparently not too far. Phantom Lancer dead for 80 seconds with no buyback. Leshrac alive in 18. Winter Wyvern almost 1 minute without that. Looking rough here.
Oh man, no.
Moving forward, they've got Teddy! Teddy! The gyrocopter makes short work of the bearded man, and GG well played is called. Vega Squadron take the series 2-1. Good fight though from Eternal Envy Disciples. Vega progressed themselves through to round 2. ESL 1 New York European qualifiers. What a series. What a series.
Yeah, and Vega played that last draft so well. They understood the capabilities of the Disciples and how they can fight up against it, and they just did it completely to a T, like picking off the PL so many times. 2-7-2 he ends the game at. I mean, 427 last hits, like he was trying to get that Rat Dota going, but Vega Squadron very smart with their TP and their blink initiations. Finish that one off.
Well, that's it for this series. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Oh no, I'll be back in about an hour. We'll see if the other series gets pushed a little bit for this. Golden Boys against 5 Youngs is coming up. Second game tonight. Old London Conspiracy team against Kuroki's new team. They play up against each other. Another best of 3, still in the round 1 of the ESL 1 New York European qualifiers. America joining me, Modpax. You can check him out on Twitter at Modpax, MOTX. Break now and where the night takes us. Let's see if we can get this game going a little bit earlier. But thanks for watching, guys. Back in a little while.